meeting to order at this time. If you would please, Michelle, roll.
Avon.
Here.
Caledonia.
Here.
Canisius.
Here.
Geneseo.
Here.
Groveland.
Here.
Lester. Lima.
Here.
Livonia. Mount Morris.
Here.
North Dansville.
Here.
Nunde.
Here.
Ashen.
Here.
Portage.
Here.
Sparta.
Here.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Here.
York.
Here.
Ian, if you would please, we have a veteran for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Chairman. Today's veteran is Timothy Scott Cornell. Timothy enrolled in the United States Navy on November 11, 1974, and served honorably until his discharge November 10, 1977. He also served as an Army National Guard member out of Batavia from November 1980 to August 1981. Tim completed basic training and defensive driving school at Great Lakes, Illinois. Upon completing basic training, he continued specialized training in the nuclear field at Naval Air Station Cecil Field in Jacksonville, Florida, where he became certified as a nuclear weapons loader and transport specialist. Tim served his military time with BF 83, Attack Squadron 83, known as the Rampagers, and did a Mediterranean cruise deployment in 1975 on board the USS Forrestal CBA-59 as part of a carrier Air Wing 17. For his military service, Tim received an Aviation Safety Award, 2 letters of appreciation, and a Fighter Squadron Safety Record Award. Upon completion of his military service, Tim returned home to Geneseo, where he resides today and services his community with great pride in various capacities. Over the years, he has volunteered with Hemlock Methodist Church, St. Mary's Catholic Church in Geneseo, the Geneseo Assembly of God Church, and as a local Salvation Army bell ringer during their annual Red Kettle campaigns. He also enjoys vacationing annually at the Notre Dame Retreat House in Canandaigua. Seaman Timothy Cornell serves as part of the Personal Recovery-Oriented Services Program in Rochester and serves as a member of the Livingston County Community Initiatives Council, where he has served since 2008. Tim also volunteers as a Good Neighbor Committee member with the Geneseo Rotary Club. He's a lifetime member of the Livingston County Museum in Geneseo and was awarded the 2017 Wadsworth Library Volunteer of the Year Award. As a sports enthusiast, his hobbies include following the Geneseo Knights athletic teams, especially the SUNY Geneseo Ice Knights at the Ira S. Wilson Ice Arena, where you often see him cheering on at the home games enthusiastic. Tim, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Tim, for your service in the United States Navy, the board is pleased to present you with the certificate of appreciation.
Next on the agenda, we have the meeting minutes from our last regular meeting, February 22nd, for your consideration. Is there any changes that anyone would care to bring forward at this time? Hearing none, I'd ask for a motion in a second, please.
Move Schuster.
Giselle seconds it. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None, that's carried. We do have a public hearing this afternoon. I'd like to ask Shannon to please speak to that.
Local law A 2023 is a local law that imposes a 3% tax upon per diem rent received from the occupant of any short-term rental in Livingston County when said occupancy is under 14 days. New York State tax law, section 1202-M, permits the county to pass this local law every 3 years at a 3% tax rate.
Thank you. In declaring this public hearing open, I would ask if there's any members in the public wishing to speak to this public hearing topic. If you do, please come forward to the podium and sign in, if you would please, right here to my left, the microphone.
Only on one?
Well, I'll ask again if he speaks, so. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, yeah, sure.
So I'm here now as a property owner, but as a small business owner on Geneseo State. And when I saw the email proposal of this tax, I just have spent the last couple of weeks with my family in Mexico, but my brothers from multiple states and the topic of tax was troubling in our conversations, which I had said before I lived in the highest tax state in our country. And I'm here today to ask all of you to consider not to impose another tax on the citizens that are trying to do business in our county. People who are renting out their homes or businesses, or the people who have already paid federal and state tax. The incomes that they take from renting their property are also taxed. They're taxed to death in the state. And I would beg this legislative body to say no. Can we tax? There is a law allows for that to happen. Should we tax? I asked, what is this money going to be used for? Is there a desperate need that I'm not aware of as a resident? It's so profound that we have to add yet another tax on this. We are taxed on every single item possible that legislative bodies can think of to pay more tax, which make it impossible for people to do business here. In your case, a good friend of mine emphasized now in Florida because they don't want to continue to pay the burden of the tax. Homeowners and property owners are renting out pay county tax every year in their tax and school tax bill. And they pay state and federal. Enough is enough, and I beg this body to reconsider any proposal that would support adding additional tax to people who come to business in this county. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. I'll ask, is there anyone else in the public wishing to speak? Is there any Board of Supervisors member wishing to speak at this time? Yes, Mrs. Erdl?
Yes, I've had a few farm families approach me on this subject and are asking for an exemption for the farm stay bed and breakfast programs. They're trying to improve agricultural tourism, and they feel that this will make it a little bit more difficult to get people to do the farm stays.
Thank you. Is there any other supervisor wishing to comment at this time? Yes, Mr. Wester.
Yes, I've had some folks too approach me regarding this and have expressed favoritism in this, especially the short-term rental properties and so forth. So I've had favoritism for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other supervisor wishing to speak? We're going to leave this public hearing open for the remainder of the meeting, and at the close of the meeting, I'll ask the same questions again in case anyone comes in, anyone from the public wishing to speak, and if any supervisor has some further thoughts on it. So the hearing will stay open at this time. We have a couple communications, please, Michelle.
Acknowledgement letter received from NISAC Executive Director Steve Aquario for resolution number 2023-43. Resignation letter from Election Commissioner Rebecca Schroeder was filed with the Livingston County Clerk on March 2nd, 2023.
Thank you. Next, we have abstract of claims.
Mr. Chairman, I move this abstract of claims and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any questions or concerns on this abstract of claims? Hearing none, I will roll, please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted.
Next, we have several privileges of the floor.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to request privilege of the floor for Ian Foyle, County Administrator, and Kate Hill, HR Director.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp.
so this is a much larger crowd than when I normally go here, but my name is Kate Hill, and I'm proudly serving as your Director of Human Resources. And last month, in this chamber, the Livingston County Board of Supervisors proclaimed March the 3rd to be National Employee Appreciation Day in Livingston County. We appreciate this opportunity to restate that proclamation and also to mark the occasion by honoring all of our employees across all of our different departments. In celebration of our workforce, we've had and we will continue to celebrate for the rest of the week as well. But some of the things that we've had, there's signage that I was supposed to bring out before I started speaking. Hopefully you have seen these among our campuses. These are displayed at every building on our Mount Morris campus, here at our Geneseo campus, our campus at Millennium Drive, and also with appreciation to our county clerk, brought one down to our Dansville location as well. And they say what we mean. We love our employees, and what's under, we're grateful for the service of each and every one of our employees. We're grateful to the highway department who also printed these signs for us and allowed us to put them up. We've also had VIP luncheons. Many of you have not strolled but danced and done somersaults down the red carpet. We have loved seeing you do that and celebrate you. We have one more VIP luncheon at the Mount Morris campus scheduled for this Friday. There's shirts, raffles, and everything sourced locally from Livingston County. We've also will deliver tomorrow breakfast to all of our different locations. Department leaders have done Thankful Tuesday, which has been different in each department. And we have Stars Among Us who have were in a video that we've produced with Keith Walters from Geneseo. And I asked if we could play that now. So if you haven't seen it, you have an opportunity to see it. It is a message from our chairman.
I have to turn it on.
Hi, I'm David Lefebvre, Chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors. I've been a lifelong resident here in Livingston County, and it's truly a great honor for me to work with all our great employees here in Livingston County. Today, we are celebrating you, our amazing employees, on National Employee Appreciation Day. Livingston County is truly a great place to live and work. What makes Livingston County employees special is their caring, their desire to do and provide the best service to our constituents. We are very interested in working together as a team, the Board of Supervisors, administration, department heads, and employees for providing the best future. We're very concerned about the atmosphere, the quality of life, and we want to continue to make Livingston County the most special county here in New York State. Once again, I'd like to thank all our employees who work so hard and diligently here to make Livingston County the great county that it is, and where we look forward to our future service to our constituency.
So we are truly thankful, we are truly grateful, and we are truly blessed for each and every member of our county workforce. What I'd like to do now, I appreciate everyone who's here today. I'd ask first, if you are a department leader of your department, if you could stand, and we're going to form kind of like a circle around the board. So if you're a department leader, could we please stand and come up and be recognized? We're department leaders. I know I'm making everyone stand. You're all going to stand at some point today, I promise. And if you'll kind of file in on this side, because everyone else, all of your staff members are going to be joining you in just a second. If you would, we're going to squeeze everybody up here. As you will say, if I could have you come all the way up here to me, all this way. I am so grateful to be able to work with each and every one of you. We have ridiculously awesome leadership at the county, and it's because of each and every one of you. So thank you very much for your service. As I call your department, if you are the department representative from that department, if you would stand and continue, we're going to make this circle. Board of Elections. I know they're way out in the annex out there. Board of Elections. Or did we get you our? Here they come, Board of Elections. Center for Nursing and Rehabilitation. Conflict Defender. They're probably in corporate, we appreciate that. County Clerk and DMV. Office of the Treasurer. Department of Health, which encompasses the Office of Mental Health, Public Health, and Dog Control. District Attorney's Office. Economic Development. We're only halfway there, so make friends. Office of Emergency Management. Highway. They don't have to walk hard. Historian. And there's still plenty of space over here, so keep coming on in for Information Technology Services. Office for the Aging. Planning. Probation. Public Defender. Real Property Tax Services. Records Management. I know she's a Department of Homes, so she's probably. Livingston County Sheriff's Office. Department of Social Services. Veteran Service Agency was here and had to leave, so we recognize them. Workforce Development. County Attorney. County Administration. Clerk of the Board. And our Board of Supervisors. We have done a lot.
We have one more.
Oh, we're at-
Emergency management, or EMS, Central Services.
I did Central Services.
No.
Okay, we're gonna double clap for Central Services. this is where on the sheet, EMS. Did I miss anybody? Your staff? I haven't forgotten about that. Hold on, they're coming. So we and the HR department have done a lot of clapping this week, and I know for some of you, it was a little hokey walking down the red carpet. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you will find out on Friday. But in clapping, I hope that you will continue to clap for each other. We have amazing employees who are doing amazing work at all of our departments, and the more we can recognize each other for our successes, the better we will all be. So we'll give one more round of applause, but I would ask also that the HR department make their way through and that they get a round of applause. Just a couple last minute thank yous. I would like to thank the Economic Development Department. They partnered with us to have the logo and for a number of the businesses. Highway Department again for making the signs, for the county administrator, the board of supervisors. Without their support, we wouldn't have been able to do this employee recognition. So I'm eternally grateful for that. The HR team, I mentioned, you are VIPs. And just thank you. Thank you to each and every single one of you that works for the county. You make this a place that I want to be. You make this a place that other people want to be. And we are grateful for you, not just today, but every day. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Making this all happen and just doing an excellent job, and it's just so great. So just one last round of applause for Kate.
Happy Employee Appreciation Day. We love you. For those of you that need to get back to your departments, you certainly can. For those who want to speak for our business, you are invited to stay.
I wish I could say this. Thank you. Hey, we do have another privilege of the floor.
Merrily.
That's a hard act to follow. So Sue, you're under pressure here. I'd like to ask privilege of the floor for Sue Carlock, who is the director of the Office for the Aging.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, I turned it on.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Thank you, Supervisors. Thank you, Mr. Boyle. I'm actually happy that you were the second privilege of the floor today because it's another celebration. And it's nice when we have things to celebrate, and it wouldn't even be possible without our employees. But I'm here to talk to you about something else that happened in March. And March is Nutrition Month.
And it is also, we joined with Meals on Wheels America to celebrate March for Meals. Older Americans Act is the big piece of federal legislation that funds a lot on the federal level of the Office for the Aging Programs. And that was established in 1965, but in 1972, they added the nutrition services component, and that funds all of our nutrition services. So because that was passed in March of 1972, we always celebrate March for Meals in March. And we often call it more than a meal, and I'm hoping that by the end of this presentation, you will understand why. Go ahead. A lot of people ask, who can get the meals? How do I get the meals? Do I have to have a doctor order them? And we do receive a lot of referrals from skilled nursing facilities, hospitals, and primary care doctors for patients that they're seeing that could use the meals to support them to be able to stay at home or during a transition from skilled nursing back to home. But it's not required. Older adults, and many times we get calls from family members, can refer themselves. We do check with primary care physicians to ensure that the meals are appropriate. If somebody has a very specific dietary need, like no gluten or minced meals or something like that, then our meals probably aren't the best option. And we do have to have consent. Contrary to what some sons and daughters believe, we can't just show up at their parents' house and bring these meals and force them to eat them. Some they have capacity, they have the choice of whether they want to get the meals or not. We do try hard to show people that. A lot of people say, well, give them to somebody else, they need more. But we tell them we don't have a waiting list and what the benefits are. All of the services of the Older Americans Act are aimed at vulnerable older adults. We are supposed to try to reach the people who need it the most, and our data clearly demonstrates that we are meeting this goal. 73% of those receiving meals in our county are over the age of 75, and 34% are over the age of 85. 75% are frail or have a disability, 62% live alone, and 36% are living with incomes below the poverty line. So, can anyone get meals? Yes and no. Yes, anybody who's over 60 and lives in the county can attend one of our congregate meal sites. And we did a presentation about the congregate meal sites a couple of years ago. They are in Avon, Mount Morris, Wildfire, and Livonia, and Dansville. And I have Cynthia Johnson here with me today. Stand up, Cindy. She is the site manager at our Dansville nutrition site. Cindy started with us as a volunteer, and she then was a food service helper, and now she's the site manager in Dansville. And anybody who's 60 years or over and lives in our county can go and have a meal. And we've been adding a lot more activities, so it's a way to get socialization and activities, and Cindy does a wonderful job. In order to be eligible for home delivered meals, however, there are additional criteria. In addition to being 60 and a resident of Livingston County, you have to be homebound, disabled, chronically ill, not disabled, disabled, nutritionally at risk or recently discharged from the hospital, unable to prepare meals for yourself, and unable to attend a congregate site. This is a question I get a lot. Why isn't there more cake or pie or cookies? We send out surveys with every meal cycle to get feedback from the people who are receiving them about the meals and about the program. And I explain to people that the meals by regulations have to meet 1/3 of the daily required intake of nutrients. And there are regulations about what has to be contained in the meal. And we have a menu analysis by a registered dietitian who signs off that our meals meet the federal requirements so we can be reimbursed for the funding. And they have to meet the requirements for calories, sodium, fiber, vitamins, protein. We have to have 3 ounces of protein, no less than 650 calories, no more than 800 calories, and less than 800 milligrams of sodium per meal. I also have some statements that were given to us as part of our feedback that I wanted to read for you. I'm eating more well-balanced meals with the home-delivered meals. Because of illness, I might have been eating cereal or sandwiches all the time. I struggle to make my own meals. So helpful. Without them, I would only have one meal sometimes. I'm able to have a nutritious meal instead of cereal or toast. It helps me eat normal, lose weight. I've managed to bring my A1C level down. I enjoy them. My arthritis prevents me from cooking myself, especially chopping. My children are happy about that. I don't cook anymore, plus I eat alone and enjoy the company. We learn to eat balanced meals. Provides balanced meal daily between caregivers' time with me. I feel so much better now. Also, my jar of peanut butter lasts a lot longer. I had a stroke in September. The prepared meals helped a lot. Keeps me on target with my low sodium diet. Living alone, I would probably never cook 2 vegetables for myself. I can't cook my own meals anymore due to arthritis and low vision. It also helps save on food costs. I get the nutrition that I tend to overlook. Sometimes I choose what is easy over nutrition. One gentleman told us that the meals weren't quite as good as his wife who had passed a few years back, but they were pretty good. How much do I have to pay for meals? Does anybody want to guess? Under the Older Americans Act, there is no cost to participants to almost all of our programs, all that are federally funded. Everybody is, however, given an opportunity to make a confidential voluntary contribution towards the cost of the meal. Right now, the suggested contribution for a home delivery meal is $3. We have people who, some who cannot afford to give anything. Some give 25 cents a meal, some give $1 a meal, some give the $3 a meal. We don't keep any kind of ledgers of who gives or how much they give each month. It's the same at the congregate site. We have a contribution box. But people like to be able to give towards the program and be part of it. Our funding comes from Title III federal funding and WIN state funding, participant contributions, donations, and local match. We can't thank you enough because a lot of my colleagues have waiting lists. And they also have limited areas where they provide service. Sometimes it might be like 25 miles from the kitchen. So our kitchen is at the CNR on Murray Hill. So if you went 25 miles around that, you can tell that some of the further places in the county wouldn't be able to get the meals. And we go everywhere. But we can't thank you enough for that. If I call today, will meals start tomorrow? We wish we were that early. By regulation, meals have to start within 10 days of referral, but often it's much shorter than that. Part of the reason why it isn't tomorrow is because we are required to go out and do a comprehensive assessment in the home. And that must be arranged with the person in the family, and it's to see if there are other resources or benefits that could help the person stay independent in the home, and to determine if there are safety risks in the home, and to confirm eligibility. So those criteria that I explained to make sure that the person is eligible for the meals. And these assessments are pretty comprehensive. And it's not just to see if they're eligible for the meals, it's to see if there's any other benefits or supports that we could put in place to help someone be able to be as independent as possible. It goes through whether there's any concerns about abuse or neglect, the health status of the person, safety in the home, are there things like grab bars that are needed, are there throw logs that are fall risks, social status, does the person have any family nearby to help? Are they very isolated? Are they feeling lonely? Advanced directives, functional status, can they bathe themselves, can they wash themselves, etc. Any services that they already have or that they need, benefits that they might not know that they're eligible for, and their nutrition status. We do a NSI, which is a nutrition screening instrument, and that will tell us whether to refer somebody for nutritional counseling. And I asked Melissa Gady, who is our case manager and the leader of our casework staff, to come with me today, because we do over 350 of these comprehensive assessments every year, and she supervises them and reviews them and makes sure that we are being compliant with all of our assessments. So Melissa, stand up. That being said, if we do go out there and it's 2 days after the referral and there is a food insecurity or emergency, we we will take shelf-stable meals or canned goods or get them food. We're not going to have anybody going hungry. So what does more than a meal mean? It could mean access to support. When completing an assessment or throughout the course of service, the caseworker assistant or the case manager may notice that there are things needed, like I said, the grab bars, we can make a referral to the home take home program. If they don't have a power of attorney, which a lot of people don't have or don't realize how important it is, we can make a referral to our legal services. The caseworker assistant is available for them to call any day if they are needing something, if they're out of food, if they've received an eviction notice. Nutrition counseling through the registered dietitian, transportation to medical appointments, if there is no transportation that's available to them. Our newsletters with a variety of information and nutrition education. Through Supervisors Davis and Ertl, we were able to provide people with venison and eggs, pet food, and a lot of holiday donations, not just at Christmas time, but throughout the year. We also screen for benefits to make sure people are eligible for HEAP or SNAP, Home Energy Assistance Program, or Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or a Medicare Savings Program, which helps them with their Medicare premiums or co-pays. We make sure that they know about that, and if they want to apply and need help, we will help them with that. And during COVID, we provided all of our meal recipients, plus a lot of people in the public, with masks, sanitizer, and a lot of other needed items. More than a meal can also mean social connection. For a lot of our people that live alone, that daily contact with the driver may be the only person that they see during the day, or even talk to during the day if they don't have family. We can connect them with virtual programming. There's a lot of virtual programming, whether it be Tai Chi or virtual senior center. If they have internet access where they live, if they have a smart device, and if they know how to use it. We connect people with friendly callers so they have more social support. Those animatronic pets, and we started phone bingo during COVID, and we still have some people that are really want that phone bingo to go on. Also, the drivers, they are a social connection, but they're also a safety check. Because they're there every day, they get to know the people that they deliver to, and if something seems off. Obviously, if we get there and the person is always there and they're supposed to be there and the door's locked and we can't get in, we're gonna call the sheriff's department and ask for a safety check. And they are tremendous partners and never question us and always go out. If we are able to get in and somebody has fallen and maybe has been there for a few hours, then we call our partners at EMS and they come and check the person out. But unfortunately, that does happen monthly, probably weekly. Not maybe emergencies, but people who need immediate help when we get there. Also concerns. If I want to introduce Nancy Henry, she's one of our drivers that delivers the home delivered meals. And Nancy represents all of the drivers, but if she notices that one of her people is not acting like they usually do, she will come back and talk to me or talk to a caseworker and say, I'm really concerned about this person. So they can reach out to the family, to the person, and figure out. And Nancy actually got one of our clients set up with LEQ, which is like a virtual friend. And he really likes it. This all takes a huge team. We have our nutrition staff, our coordinator, unfortunately, Jessica Wilkins, who's already planned to be off today through Friday, so she's not here today. But our nutrition staff, all of the couriers, our substitutes, our site managers, our food service helpers, on any given day, we have 14 people that are working in the nutrition program. Our subcontracted staff, who is our RD from Cornell Cooperative Extension, Morrison Senior Living, does the food at the CNR, our casework staff, and our New York Connect staff that answer the phone if people have questions. Our fiscal staff and clerical staff has become quite complicated doing vouchers with the number of different grants that we have, and our staff does a wonderful job. Community members, our volunteers, and people who donate to the program, and then our federal funding and our state funding and the funding from this county. Our overall funding, the county is just over 50% of our funding, but for the nutrition program, it's more like 2/3 of the funding. So the program in action. 88% of our meal recipients indicate that the meals and program help them to stay in their own home. 85% say the program helps them feel more secure. 83% say the program helps them eat healthier and improve their health. And for 60%, the meal makes up half or more of the food they eat in a day. Some people say because we have to have a couple of vegetables, a cup of fruit, the 3 ounces of protein, the milk, they say it's too much for one sitting, so they might divide it and eat some at lunchtime and some at dinner time. We have been doing the children's meals for a while now, so they can heat them up either at lunchtime or supper time, whichever they prefer. And then I wanted to read something that a woman called me, and she wrote in, and she said, I had some health issues that led to severe dehydration and malnutrition in 2021. This resulted in a fall in September. I spent 2.5 weeks in the ED in Danville as they had no beds. I then went to skilled nursing facility in Wellsville for 3.5 months. I fell twice while there and was diagnosed with seizures and put on a medication for seizures. I was later informed that I never had seizures and taken off the medication. I came home and was very weak. I had lost 25 pounds. I had no aids and could not possibly cook, although I enjoy cooking. The meals are what kept me going and gave me the calories and protein I needed. If I did not have the meals, I would not be home right now. I wouldn't have regained weight. I have gained back 12 pounds and would not have regained stability. The staff of the OFA were fantastic when I came home. I learned about Faith in Action for Transportation and other resources. I have to gain another 10 to 15 pounds before my doctor will do the hip surgery I need. I am looking forward to eating today's meal, which includes pork loin and asparagus. I am no longer getting the frozen meals as I am trying to cook at least 1 meal per day. Meals that used to take me a few hours to cook now take a day and a half due to my limited mobility, neuropathy, and arthritis. I live alone, I can't drive, and I have no family nearby. Seeing a friendly face 5 days a week makes a real difference. I use a rollator, and I fear falling. I never want to go back to a nursing home, and I take comfort knowing someone will be here to check on me. So that was an illustration of how the meal is more than a meal, and many other things that contribute to somebody's well-being. I want to thank you again for celebrating March for Meals. I want to offer you an opportunity, if you would like, because it's March for Meals, it's also to raise awareness and education about the program. If you would like to ride along with Nancy or one of our other drivers to see how the program works in action, or serve meals at one of our congregate sites, I believe the week of March 20th is Community Champions Week, and that's when across the country, elected officials will be participating in the senior nutrition programs. So if you would like to do that in any way, please contact me or Jessica Wilkins, and we will get it all organized. And again, I thank you so much. And we do have the most wonderful employees in Livingston County in the Office for the Aging. There is no exception. Thank you so much.
So do they come frozen and then they put them in the microwave? Or do they come
They come
first?
chilled,
Chilled.
usually about 38 degrees. They're not frozen. They can be put in the freezer, and you can keep them there up to 3 months, but they are good in the refrigerator for up to 72 hours. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have another privilege on the floor also this afternoon.
Chairman, I'd like to request privileges of the floor for Mike Freeze, National Weather Service, and Andrew Brodell, Director, Office of Emergency Management.
Thank you, Mr. Denton.
Good morning.
Just seeing we're awake, that's all.
I have Judy Levant and Mike Fries from the National Weather Service here with myself and Will Gall from OEM.
Good afternoon. We Americans live in the most severe weather-prone country on earth. There have been 20 federally declared disasters in Livingston County over the past 50 years. With the exception of 9/11, a statewide power outage in 2003, and West Nile virus COVID, all of those federally declared disasters were due to extreme weather. Through the Storm Ready program, NOAA's National Weather Service gives counties the skills and the education needed to survive severe weather before and during the event. The National Weather Service's Storm Ready program started in 1999 with 7 communities in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area. There are now over 3,000 Storm Ready communities across the country. The program is voluntary and provides communities with clear-cut advice on partnership between the local National Weather Service Forecast Office and state and local emergency managers. To be recognized as Storm Ready, there are several requirements the county must meet, and these include the establishment of a 24-hour warning point and emergency operations center, having more than one way to receive severe weather forecasts and warnings and to alert the public, create a system that monitors local weather conditions, promote the importance of public readiness through community seminars and education, and develop a formal hazardous weather plan which includes training severe weather spotters and holding emergency exercises. Storm-ready communities have the improved communication and safety skills needed to save lives and property before and during an event. It is with great pleasure that I am here to represent the National Weather Service to present a certificate of recognition to Livingston County for its efforts in completing the program to retain the distinction of being a storm-ready county. In particular, I'd like to extend our sincere appreciation to Andrew Burdell, Director, and Will Gall, Deputy Director of the Livingston County Office of Emergency Management, to accomplish the goals set forth in this program. The Office of Emergency Management maintains an excellent working relationship with the Buffalo National Weather Service Office, and I recognize the diligent efforts to maintain community readiness in anticipation of natural disasters of any type. Those efforts proved their worth over the past several years, whether dealing with freezing rain and winter storms or thunderstorm winds and large hail. We do not look forward to another natural disaster. However, if and when another one of the disasters does occur, we can be confident that the officials in the county have improved their communication and safety skills needed to save lives and property. We look forward to a stronger partnership between the county and the National Weather Service. You are an excellent example for other municipalities and counties in New York State, and I applaud you for your efforts.
Next, we have several resolutions on the preferred agenda.
Proclaiming the month of March 2023 as Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. Proclaiming the month of April 2023 as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Proclaiming the month of April 2023 as Fair Housing Month. Proclaiming the month of May 2023 as Foster Care Month. Proclaiming March 24th, 2023 as Women in Agriculture Day in Livingston County. Appointing members to the Livingston County Planning Board, Mary Teresa Gleason Black and Keith Stein. Proclaiming April 2023 as Donate Life Month. Resolution opposing proposed changes to the New York State Soil and Water Conservation District Law. Appointing member to the Livingston County Traffic Safety Board, John Sokolowski.
Thank you, Michelle. I'll ask if there's any discussion on these resolutions on the preferred agenda. Hearing no discussion, I'd ask for a motion and a second to bring it to a vote.
Lester.
Davis.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Roll on this, please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted.
We have some resolutions that require a separate roll call.
Mrs. Walker, authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contracts for the Livingston County Center for Nursing and Rehabilitation: Finger Lakes Performing Provider Systems, GLIPS, and Zimmett Healthcare Services Group, LLC.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Are there any questions or discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, the roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contracts for the Livingston County Center for Nursing and Rehabilitation: Cross Country Staffing, Inc., doing business as Cross Country Healthcare Services, and Clinical Staffing Resources, Inc.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Are there any concerns on these contracts? Hearing none, the roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contracts for the Livingston County Department of Health: Flying Baby Pictures and Lori's Elite Hair Design, LLC.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Is there any discussion on either of these contracts? Hearing none, the roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contract for the Livingston County Department of Social Services: Teletask, Inc.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Is there any discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, the roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contracts for the Livingston County Office of Workforce Development Youth Bureau: Catholic Charities, Steuben, Livingston; Cornell Cooperative Extension of Livingston County; Hillside Children's Center, Inc.; Legal Aid Society of Rochester, New York, Inc., and New York State Office of Children and Family Services.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Is there any discussion on any of these contracts? Hearing none, the roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Mr. Deming, authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contract for the Livingston County Central Services Department, CPL.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Deming. Are there any concerns on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Awarding bids and authorizing purchase for the Livingston County Highway Department. Various aggregate materials through March 31st, 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Deming. Are there any questions on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye. Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Awarding bids and authorizing purchase for the Livingston County Highway Department. Various construction materials and services through April 1st, 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Deming. Is there any concerns on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Awarding bids and authorizing purchase for the Livingston County Highway Department, rental of various pieces of construction equipment through April 1st, 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Deming. Are there any concerns on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Approving hourly rate to be paid for town 10-wheel dump trucks while engaged in Livingston County highway maintenance and construction work through the end of 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Deming. Any questions or concerns on this hourly rate? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contracts for the Livingston County Planning Department. SUNY Research Foundation of the State of New York and Genesee Finger Lakes Regional Planning Council.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Deming. Are there any concerns on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Mr. Knapp, amending the 2023 Livingston County budget, central services, there are 10.
Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville. Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen. Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Authorizing a professional services contract for tax collection and payment software, Systems East, Inc.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any questions or concerns on this contract? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Amending the 2023 Livingston County Salary Schedule, Central Services, Department of Health, and Information and Technology Services.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any questions or discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Ratifying tentative collective bargaining agreement with the Livingston County Deputy Sheriff's Coalition Unit and authorizing execution of a collective bargaining agreement.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any questions or discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contract for the Livingston County Center for Nursing and Rehabilitation, Prometric LLC.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Any questions or discussion on this contract? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Amending a portion of resolution number 2021-337 MRB Group.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any questions or discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contracts for the Livingston County Sheriff's Office. Nomad Enterprises, Inc., doing business as Warsaw Dry Cleaners, Life Safety Integrated Systems, Inc., and Professional Care Medical Practice, PC, in care of Prime Care Medical of New York, Inc.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any discussion on any of these contracts? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contracts for the Livingston County Sheriff's Office. Dansville Central School District, Genesee Valley Educational Partnership, Keshequa Central School District, Livonia Central School District, Mount Morris Central School District, and York Central School District.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted. This next resolution is two-thirds majority. Requesting the New York State Senate and the New York State Assembly to amend the Public Authorities Law to increase the Livingston County Water and Sewer Authority's maximum aggregate principal amount of bonds, notes, and obligations.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any questions or discussion on this resolution? Hearing.
One moment.
Okay, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 3608, absent 276, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following professional services contract for Livingston County. Perma Inc.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Any questions or concerns on this contract? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 4679, absent 375, adopted.
Still have the public hearing open from earlier in the meeting. I'll ask again, if any member of the public wishing to come forward and speak on the public hearing, please come forward, sign in on podium, please.
Good afternoon. I happened to be here earlier, and had some time to think about it briefly about the occupancy tax. I have three main points. First, I think that the board should absolutely not tax. The first being that so why should smaller organizations not? Second, I think that these short-term rentals, attract sense of community. Whether we are planning, so we have to look at is how to make sure we can have a sense of community in our community. And in our community, that not only detracts by not having someone in the community, but as people enter the property who don't have buy-in into it. So having these rentals are detriment to and finally, they contribute to the housing shortage. They take permanent occupancy for applications off market. System has to be right in, and people can figure these out. And because of these two reasons that they detract from the community and they take the property off, they should absolutely be taxed. Short-term property rentals don't tax. Company to put it. Which reasons are absolutely tax. But
Ask if there's anyone else in the public wishing to speak at this time. And I'll ask again, any supervisor wishing to comment? Yes, Mrs. Riddle.
Yeah, Livingston County has put an awful lot of time and effort into increasing tourism. And a lot of times for the smaller rural communities, tourism is really all we've got that brings money into our municipalities. My concern with adding a 3% occupancy tax on short-term rentals in the rural areas, and like I said before, on the farm stays, is it's going to be passed along to the renters, and it's going to end up discouraging tourism because they're going to want to go to places where they can get farm stays at a cheaper rate.
Chairman. Yes, Mr. Pangrazio.
I just want to clarify one thing. This is something that we've already done before. This is not a new tax. This is not in addition to what we currently have. All we're doing is renewing. And I think as of today, it hasn't really hurt one way or the other. In fact, to be quite frank, some of the property owners are doing that, collecting this tax for us. So, I'm for it. Before last time, I think it's something we need to do. And to the young man's point, I've been to other states and I paid more than 3% for open time. So I support this.
Thank you. Any other supervisors wishing to weigh in? Mr. Gatt.
Chairman, I know that we probably have heard through the past years that this has become a business around Canisius Lake, a big business. 3% is a pretty small fee to charge if you're going to be able to operate a business out of a home, whether you live there part of the time or not. I think most anybody that's in business, if they were allowed to, zoning wise, run their business out of their home, would do it and be glad to pay 3% to do that rather than pay utilities, insurance, mortgage or rent, upkeep on another separate property. Me for one, in fact, I've got the exact same building at my home that I have that I work out of every day. It would be awful nice to pay 3% to work at home every single day, minus all those other expenses that it costs a business owner to run. So I do believe this has become more of a business. I understand. I did talk to a lady that spoke with me this week from as far as the agricultural standpoint. I do know that we're trying to get these small agricultural operations to be sustainable, and hopefully this helps them. I think the 3% is something that we're going to have to either absorb, or there's people that stay there will have to absorb it. I think that it's good for the people on the lake. It ought to be good for the farmers and the people that are trying to sustain it too. Again, 3% is not an awful lot of money.
Other supervisors wishing to comment? Mr. Chairman. Yes, Mr. President.
We do use the bed tax to fund our tourism efforts. And so the tax is in turn drawing people into the county to rent, et cetera.
Other supervisors wishing to comment? Hearing none, at this time I'll close the public hearing. I'd look for a motion in a second to move this to a vote.
Schuster. Second, yeah.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed and carried. And next step would be, Michelle, a vote and adoption of the local law.
The adoption resolution reads as adoption of local law number A, 2023, adopting the Livingston County guest room occupancy tax. Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia.
Aye.
Mount Morris.
Aye.
North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
No.
York.
Aye.
One moment. Ayes 4578, noes 101, absent 375, adopted.
Ian, do you have any updates for the board this afternoon?
Yeah, just a couple, Chairman. The first is I want to thank the board for their support of the contract for the Livingston County Deputy Sheriff's Coalition. That represents the second of two major contracts the board's been able to approve in the last, quarter, with CSEA being the other one. So two major units now have new collectively bargained agreements that contain different compensation and benefit enhancements that were there before. So definitely should assist us from a recruitment and a retention perspective. So I thank you for that. Just wanted to give a shout out. She's still here. I can't quite see, but Kate and her team for putting together the series of events today. Thank you for all the efforts in doing that. Unlike Mr. Schuster and others, it was the first time I had walked on a red carpet before. So I actually really enjoyed it, and it was a lot of fun. We are waiting on two major grants. We should really hear, one we should hear about any day, which is the Light Up Livingston kind of round 2, which is a Reconnect round 4 USDA. Waiting on a very sizable grant opportunity there. And we had a meeting this week for the Vital Access Provider Grant, which is the $10 million for the nursing home. So fingers crossed on both of those. Still no resolution. Lastly, still no resolution on the Medicaid issue at the state level, the EF map, which is the takeaway by the state. There's a new website, Cost Shift Countdown, you can go to that basically talks about the $625 million theft from the state, from proceeds that were federal government proceeds to the state that was supposed to go to the county governments to offset our costs for Medicaid. If we don't get that offset, we're talking about a $1.2 million hit to the 2023 budget. So all eyes are on that in the legislative cycle this round. That's all I have.
Other business before the board this afternoon? Move to adjourn from Geneseo.
Second, Wesley.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Meeting stands adjourned.